Have you ever looked into it? Let me see. Hopefully he skips it. Watch. This is Venki. 2 predictions. Give him things that reflect to see if you could put them into fiber optics devices. Second, turn out anything that's sacred so that it can inspect something. Third, understandings of many books into one, a Bible. Where he will falter. I think I already said this once. Wondering what the Democrats are going to get out, say that the Republicans. The parity with them. Let me see. Now, what?
The Mesopotamian texts provide us with an eyewitness report of the first production of the duplicates of Adam. The instructions of Enki were followed. In the house of Shimti, where the breath of life is blown in, Enki, the mother goddess, and 14 birth goddesses assembled. A god's essence was obtained, the purifying bath prepared. Ea cleaned the clay in her presence. He kept reciting the incantation. The god who purifies Napishtu, Ea spoke up. Seated before her, he was prompting her. After she had recited her incantation, she put her hand out to the clay. We are now privy to the detailed process of man's mass creation, with 14 birth goddesses present. Ninti nipped off 14 pieces of clay. 7 she deposited on the right, 7 she deposited on the left. Between them she placed the mold. The hair, she, the cutter of the umbilical cord.
What I would want from Enki and Sumerian would be harlots and the men of Sumerius to get the fiber optics and set them right to reply like in video game. Ow, fuck.
7 birth goddesses had assembled. The text goes on to explain.
You see those workspaces? That's
Into
right.
their wombs, the mother goddess deposited the mixed clay. There are hints of a surgical procedure, the removal or shaving off of hair, the readying of a surgical instrument, a cutter. Now there was nothing to do but wait. The birth goddesses were kept together. Ninti sat counting the months.
Yakuza,
The fateful 10th month
Zohan,
was approaching.
and the
10th month
Christians
arrived. The period
have
of
things that
opening
you
the
guys have
womb
never
had
seen
elapsed.
before.
Her face radiated
Maybe
understanding.
things to contact
She
each
covered
other
her head,
and freely
performed
dating.
the midwifery. Her waist she girdled, pronounced the blessing. She drew a shape. In the mold was life. The drama of man's creation, it appears, was compounded by a late birth. The mixture of clay and blood was used to induce pregnancy in 14 birth goddesses.
That's
But 9
Egyptian
months
robe,
passed,
like
and
me
the
and
10th
Anubis.
month commenced. The period of opening the womb had elapsed. Understanding what was called for, the mother goddess performed the midwifery. That she engaged in some surgical operation emerges more clearly from a parallel text, in spite of its fragmentation. Ninti counts the months, the destined 10th month they called. The lady whose hand opens came. With thee, she opened the womb. Her face brightened with joy, her head was covered, made an opening. That which was in the womb came forth. Overcome with joy, the mother goddess let out a cry. I have created. My hands have made it. How was the creation of man accomplished? The text, when the gods as men, contains a passage whose purpose was to explain why the blood of a god had to be mixed into the clay. The divine element required was not simply the dripping blood of a god, but something more basic and lasting.
Reading the 4/3, he revealed that he's very freely gay.
Had ti'ima, a term the leading authorities on the text translate as personality. But the ancient term is much more specific. It literally means that which houses, that which binds the memory. Further on, the same term appears in the Akkadian version as itimu, which is translated as spirit. In both instances, we are dealing with that something in the blood of the god that was the repository of his individuality. All these, we feel certain, are but roundabout ways of stating that what Ea was after, when he put the god's blood through a series of purifying baths, was the god's genes. The purpose of mixing this divine element thoroughly with the earthly element was also spelled out. In the clay, God and man shall be bound, to a unity brought together, so that to the end of days, the flesh and the soul, which in a god have ripened, that soul and a blood kinship